Hello and welcome. Thank you for joining us. My name is Tony. I am the Children and Families Worker at St Peter's Church, Wellesbourne. And this video is the start of a short series following Easter of children's church activities for you to check out and use on Sundays with your kids. At the end of this video, you'll see there's some activities, some suggestions, some questions, and some other videos that you can check out with some worship songs and some prayer, so that you can do your own little children's church activity from home during the coronavirus epidemic. The following presentation comes from the website freebibleimages.org. They cover all the stories of the Bible, all the characters, all the events, so you can check those out there. There's some really great stuff, and they have some activities and story planners as well that go with those. 3 days after Jesus died, there was a sudden earthquake. An angel rolled away the stone from covering the tomb of Jesus. The soldiers guarding the tomb were terrified. Some women who had come to the tomb with spices were amazed at what they saw. The angel told the women to go and tell the rest of the disciples that Jesus had risen from the dead. The women did as the angel said, but when they told the disciples, they would not believe their story. Peter and John decided to go to the tomb to find out if what the women were saying was true. They ran quickly and found the stone rolled away from the entrance of the tomb. John stood outside, but Peter went into the tomb and found the grave clothes that had been wrapped around Jesus were still there, but his body was missing. One of the women who had come to the tomb with the spices was called Mary Magdalene. She went to the tomb looking for the body of Jesus. 2 angels appeared to her and said, "Why are you crying?" And Mary answered, "Because they have taken away Jesus, and I don't know where they have put him." Then Mary turned and saw a man she thought was a gardener. "Please," she said, "where have you put my Lord?" "Mary," the man replied, and at once Mary knew that it was Jesus. "Go to my disciples," Jesus said, "and tell them I go to my Father and your Father, to my God, to your God." That same day, 2 men were going to a place called Emmaus, and Jesus joined them, but they did not recognize him. They told him about the things that had happened to Jesus over the last few days. Jesus explained that God had told prophets over hundreds of years that the Savior of the world must suffer and die to rescue people. The men invited Jesus to stay with them in their house for the night. As they were eating, Jesus took some bread, gave thanks for it, and gave it to them. Immediately, they recognized it was Jesus, but he disappeared from their sight. They rushed back to Jerusalem to tell the other disciples what had happened. Later on, the disciples were meeting in a room, and they had locked the doors. Suddenly, Jesus appeared in the room. "Don't be afraid," he said. They were all amazed as Jesus showed them his hands and his feet, where he had been wounded. One of the disciples, called Thomas, was not there with them, though. When the others told him, he did not believe them. 8 days later, Jesus appears to them again. And this time, Thomas is there. And we're going to be learning a bit about that next time. And these events lead up to the Ascension, when Jesus went back to heaven, followed by Pentecost, which we will also be learning about in the next few weeks. There are several activities to go with today's session. There is some colouring in sheets, and there are a couple of activity sheets as well about Jesus appearing to the disciples and the road to Emmaus activities. If you would like those, then they're being sent out by email, so do send me an email or drop me a message on Facebook or something if you would like to be part of that. As part of your session together this morning, it'd be good to spend some time praying as well. In this image here, you can see our prayer wall. We've made this wall for the period when we have this coronavirus outbreak in this country, and what we've done is we have put the names of people in our church, young people, children, people in our community, and our loved ones up on this board to pray for them. Perhaps you can have a go as well, cutting out some heart shapes putting up some names of people. If you've got somewhere you can stick them up, or you can just lay them out or stick them into a book or on a piece of paper if you prefer. Just to remind you over the coming days and weeks and months to keep praying for those people we love and the people around us during this time. If you would like to do some worship videos as part of your Sunday school session, there's loads of things on YouTube you can look at. And amongst my playlists, you can find a number of songs that I've put along for you to worship with your kids. There's dance videos as well. Here's one on the screen now, which is a suggestion of some you might do. It's called Every Move I Make. Dance along with lyrics by Kids Worship. That's a fun one, particularly if your children like to dance to worship songs, then you can check that out. And there's several more on my channel under the playlists as well. Lastly, if you want to check out some more videos, this is a suggestion of one that you could have a look at. The Seriously Surprising Story, Meeting Jesus on the Road to Emmaus. This is another animated story of the Emmaus Road story that you could have a look at, and there are several others on YouTube if you'd like to check those out as well. Thank you for joining us. I hope you all have a great day and a great week. Stay safe. God bless.